monthly progress meeting number 2. Any comments on the previous meeting minutes? Safety, security, adjacent project issues. I know we're just kind of getting started, but so far nothing.
No issues with safety.
No issues there. Okay. Austin, you just want to run through the last 30 days?
Yep. Last 30 days we got prepped for blasting, bypass, materials have been coming in, getting ready to go. We did start the fusion on the bypass. Those guys are getting set up, getting that rolling, along with the test drilling for the rock. They've drilled the whole job from top to bottom. We've got that profiled pretty good. Young we've gotten the road in, and they are starting to move in some materials for the microtunnel. We got to get the submittal back, obviously, before we start there. They're getting geared up on that end. Just getting some stuff on site, getting ready to go. Other than that, deliveries roll right in the next 30 days. We're looking to start work next Tuesday, so we should be putting a bucket in the ground Tuesday next week. Following up yesterday's discussion, the blasting, it will not be this week. They will start shooting next week. So if we want to send anything out, please do so, but that will be next week. And just, I would say keep it generic for right now. The blasting will be ongoing. We're having to coordinate with the fire marshal wanting to see every shot right now. So the times are going to be kind of based on when we shoot is going to be his schedule and letting us know when he can get to us. But if we can let general public know that's going to be going on.
8th Street?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the plan is you're going to start blasting at 8th Street and kind of work back up.
Yep.
Okay.
And then as needed towards the bottom of the job as we go. And then we'll of course do more notification for C Street once we head up with the drills and that kind of thing. But 8th Street, just 8th Street for now.
Just since we're talking about it, just since you do have the rock profile, I mean, how many separate blasting events do you think we're looking at? I mean, I know it's going to be several, but
it's going to be based on how that PPV turns out on those
Okay.
first couple of shots and getting it dialed in to where we're keeping it under it's the 2, I believe.
right.
And keeping that in is going to dictate shots and how many can we get off, how big of an area can we do. We obviously don't want to get too huge. It's a residential area.
Sure.
We're not looking to do mass trench shot on this, but I think that's the best indicator. That's the best answer to give to that right now is let's see how the PPVs do and see if it's got to be small. I'm hoping we don't have to get down to hand shots. So just have to go from
I
there.
don't even know a hand shot.
You do more of these small hand drilled holes with smaller powder charges.
Oh, really?
And try to pop it to get the rock to crack. We've
Yeah.
done it on jobs where, like, if I had a house where you're sitting at a house where that table is, and we got to go down the middle, we've had to do some of that to crack some granite that was in the way, and it's just really small, real tedious. It's slow. We're
So
hoping
I mean, it's something, but still better than
than sitting there
mechanical.
hammering. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Learn something new. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, yes. Well, there is the concerns about keeping people informed and just going through. So yeah, just when we get an idea of like the frequency of the blast and all that kind of and the duration, at least until we get down to like A Street or somewhere in there, right, as we're working through C Street. Okay.
And we can keep that on the Monday call. Just say, hey guys, where's our blasting duration this week?
Yep.
And that's how we've done on jobs before like this. We've gone through neighborhoods. It's just we touch base on that weekly call. We say, hey, we're blasting this area this week, and then next week we're blasting this area, and that just keep the residents updated, keep everybody on the same page about that.
Okay.
And then when it quits, we can also say, hey guys, we're done, and that helps.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, but as far as the notice, yeah, I will. I will be taking a look at that when I get back today, and Scott, I will send that over to you guys just to confirm we're okay with it, and then Park has also provided a list of all the addresses where they are going to be doing the pre-blast survey in an Excel table. So we have a list of everything there, and that'll also be used for tracking for when they notify them, when they do the work, and any comments or concerns that come up. So.
From you a better idea of the time you're going to do blasting. It's just for coordination communications that we don't run into a street is completely blocked off school buses can't get down the street in the afternoon, or can't get their kids to daycare back. So we have a window that this occurs that we can broadcast it.
It would be hard to nail down exact time frames. I can do it from like a week by week basis to say, okay, we're going to be blasting on 8th Street this week. And we can communicate the time frames. Like once we get closer, say, okay, it's going to be 2 o'clock today. That's when the fire marshal said he can show up, and we'll name for that. But we've seen that be so volatile for time changes where he has something come up or something moves, or we have to push it back. If we're aiming for like 11 and then he says, I had to go do something, I've got to come at 2 now. We can give that. I just don't want to tell the general public 1 and then it change again.
Do you normally try to shoot morning or afternoon as a default, or?
Again, at the pace of the fire marshal. If we could, I've seen us shoot 1 shot in the morning and 1 in the afternoon if we're trying to really get moving. But on this one, I wouldn't want to give any hard answer because I don't know how our fire marshal is going to be yet. And that's what's got me hesitant to give you any sort of specific on it, is because I may say, okay, we can tell you it's 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever it is every day. Well, he's already told us he won't see a shot past 3. So he won't let us do anything past 3 o'clock.
That's no.
Yes.
That's no.
Yes.
So there is a window, right?
Right.
Is it like a 10 to 3?
9.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. 9 to 3 probably be decent because they'd have to get the holes loaded first thing in the morning. I think 9 to 3 would probably be safe. Ron, do you have any worries with 9 to 3?
Yeah, I do. Once we get laying, say we're often laying and we hit a little bit of high bottom and we have to do some of those hand holes like Austin's talking about. We could shoot as early as 7:30, 8 o'clock. Say if we hit some the night before and we pre-drill it. So, I hate to lock ourselves down to 9 to 3 because it could delay the project and the movement of the project. If we could just give dates that we will be blasting, and going back to the amount of times blasting, like Austin said, he's absolutely correct. It's up to the fire marshal, but depending on the size of the shots, and if we work it out with the fire marshal, it could be up to 3 or 4 shots a day if we're having to do a couple holes at a time. And that's the extreme situation, but it has happened. And I could see it happening in some areas here.
But the fire marshal do have to be on site for all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So what is his time frame? Did he give you a time frame in the morning?
No, he
They give
has.
you- Yeah,
He
I
has
think
not.
did.
Like
The-
they get there at 8:30 or so. They don't come in. So if they gave you 3, you might be restricted because he won't be there all other than that.
Well, I can say this, it's gonna be a problem, that's all. Because it's not a problem in this room, it's a problem because now go sit in the house and have me try to communicate to somebody that we have no idea when it's gonna be. That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
Well, it's next
No,
week.
well, no, that's not true. I mean, we know the days we're shooting. And, if there's any special conditions or special businesses that need certain notifications because of equipment and things, we can certainly reel that in. But if we get to where we're just giving a specific time on any given day, this job could take forever to get done. You have so many variables on the rock when you're shooting, and one day could be completely different from the next. You could be in granite today and tomorrow the rock's softening up, which
You'll know
Yeah.
days that you're gonna perform this?
the blasting,
Yes.
yes, but there's still variables out of our control with the fire marshal. We know
Let me-
when we want to blast, but
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying your Monday through Friday is too wide.
Okay.
But so if you're sitting here today and you're telling me next week, it looks like Tuesday through Friday between the hours of 8 and 3,
Mhm.
that's something that we can go with because we can broadcast it. And then as you get closer to those days, we can broadcast it again that it's actually going to be Wednesday.
Okay.
That type of thing. And that's all we would say. We
Sure.
wouldn't try to get down to 11:30, 12:30, those type of things, but take us from here the week before. And during the week, try this down to this week, this is what's going to be occurring at various times throughout the next couple of days. That's really all that we're looking for.
Let me ask this, if y'all have used this before, we've done this in Charlotte. They had a text messaging from the city that residents could sign up for,
Yeah.
and they could put out alerts that way.
Yep, we have.
And If you've got that,
We
what
do.
we've done before is we've gone, okay, hey, today is Tuesday, we're shooting today.
Yep.
Send out a text
Yep.
to the residents that we're shooting today. They all get the notification, whatever area, and then boom, we
Yep.
pull it.
Yeah, we
Do
have
we
that, we
wanna
have
use
that
that?
too. We encourage
Okay.
people to continue to sign up for
Okay.
those alerts, and we'll continue to market that if you want to get these alerts, this is what you have to sign up for. We'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, and why don't we try to use that? That had we had
Sure.
good feedback from the public on that one. And it was just in the morning, it was
Yep.
Jackie got with the superintendent and it was, hey, we are gonna shoot today.
Yep.
Let's send that text message out. Ron, that work for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
There is a section of homes, I don't know if they're apartments or not, but on C Street, they've got a sign out front, they look like duplexes that say there's no smoking within 50 feet of those residents. Is that, are we gonna, so it's high concentrated oxygen, we're not gonna have an issue with blasting that right there on that street? I mean, the signs are out at the edge of the road.
Wouldn't think so. But Devin, let's check that box for sure. We'll get Caroline's rolling and check it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're the experts in that, so we'll get an answer.
And then one other thing, as far as like the pre-blast warning, I mean, is there air horn 5 minutes before, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's a whole procedure for them.
Okay,
That should have been in the blast plan. If it wasn't,
Yeah.
let me know.
well, yeah, not every one of us.
Okay, no. Sorry, no,
No.
I was like, it better have been in the blast plan.
Yeah, no, and I was just, I was just pointing out, I mean, Scott, that's another thing is, you know,
Mhm.
5 minutes or
There's a
what,
handful
there's
of
typically
warnings.
like a, you know,
Yeah.
1 to
Oh,
5
yeah.
minutes.
Yep.
Air horn, let people
We'll
know.
learn the routine once we get there.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna hear an air horn.
Yep.
He stuck to that on them. I mean, they do the 5 short blast and then they count it down. He stuck to that.
Okay, good.
Yep. There's a handful of there's a handful of horns, a handful of, I mean, I can pull it up. It's a whole sequence of events and they are
Yeah.
religious about that sequence of
Yeah.
events.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yep.
good.
And we'll also have signs out there blasting area and things like that for the traveling public to see that we're blasting.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I think there will be, all the notifications. We just got to make sure that we've got we can get it out to folks and let them know. Okay, now that I've completely jumped off the agenda, no. We're perform, coordination items, so yeah, the pre-blast survey, again, I know we've gotten that update. I'm gonna do one more quick review. Scott, I'll get it over to you just to sign off, and then hopefully we can get that wrapped up
Thank you.
and we can start getting the notifications out to folks. And you said they probably are gonna resume the surveys
Next week,
next week?
fingers crossed, but we'll get a hard confirmation of that. And Todd will reach out to you, Jackie.
And I'm sorry, and before we completely get off this topic, one other question I was thinking about is how far in advance of the excavation are they going to be getting? Are they, is the plan is just blast the whole alignment from 8th Street on back?
Right now, it's just 8th Street to go ahead and do that. We won't, Ron, comment here. You won't shoot probably D Street or C Street until we're actually closed and digging, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's not, you're going to just blast and just kind of leave it there and.
No, can't do that.
Okay, because I would imagine sometimes when you start digging, then you find out you didn't get it.
Even with 8th Street, once we get done shooting, we're still gonna have to get it back to where residents can get in and out. We don't
Right.
want to keep anybody out of their homes. That's not what we do. So that's something we'll just have to work with them on and make sure that,
Okay.
because the road's gonna get unsettled when we shoot it, but we'll make sure it's passable and all that kind of, we've got plate, stone, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But C Street and D Street are so busy, you're gonna have to close that and then get up there and shoot. And that's the
Okay.
same thing with like Central, when we do that closure of keeping the drills out in front just for, honeycombing.
Okay, all right. I think schedule critical path. I mean, we're early enough. I don't think we need to really dwell too long on schedule. DOT Central Ave closure. As you know, that currently, as things stand, they are still not approving that closure. It sounds as though they are at least discussing it, and going back and looking at what had been provided. My understanding is that it is in NCDOT's court. CDM Smith will be following up on it just to make sure that they make a decision. As far, I guess, as far as scheduling goes, I mean, obviously, the sooner we get an answer on this, the better. But when or if we can't get this resolved in the next month, I mean, at what point is this going to be like, all right,
what does
Park.
it turn into?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was gonna say, at what point does Park say, we really kind of need to know which way this,
If this is
It's
going bore and jack, we're gonna need to know soon, like
okay,
30 days. I'm assuming it's not gonna go bore and jack, just it cost prohibitive is one thing on that versus an open cut. But we know there's 4 or 5 feet, I think, if you look at the plot we had
Mhm.
across Central of rock in the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be hard
yeah,
in that rock trying to get across there, and that's probably a long bore.
yeah. I would have to guess, Michael, we probably looked at that during design and realized just based on the geology that it's not a good place to do something like that.
Mhm.
So,
Correct.
okay. All right, well, like I said, we will keep leaning on them to try to get an answer. And hopefully they give us the answer we want to hear.
If they've got any need for a meeting on site, I'll make a hole in my schedule. Just let me know.
Yep. Thank you. And then discuss traffic detour down 9th Street. Yeah, that we have had some residents express concern. We will keep an eye on things and hopefully people obey the speed limit. But we will see how that goes. I mean, as long as everything, just make sure everything's in place for the approved traffic control plans.
10 feet.
Scott, did you get it?
Bill, were we going to discuss the options we talked about this morning?
What was that posting?
The, something you said you wanted.
The plans that I got were very detailed. Detours, they're not very user friendly. So I was trying to figure out how to post the clip and let everyone understand.
Let's see. As far as Austin, as far as things on your end, anything coming up with regards to material delivery or anything you guys have noticed now that you've been out here for a little bit and had a look around? Any concerns or anything come up that?
Not yet.
Okay, excellent.
We're good on patch repair material. Joel, we talked, I've got 6, 10, 12-inch stuff all sitting at one of our supply houses, ready to go. You'll see more appurtenances, Jackie, this week, coming out there, ringing covers, tracer wire, all that stuff. So
That we're gonna try to lay down at the yard, not on you.
just for security's sake. So
Hey, Austin, the supplies for the repairs, we will have some on site as well, and some at the parts house. Extra at the parts house and some on site.
good deal.
And also, I guess, SharePoint site. So we still are maintaining the SharePoint site for submittals, reports, all that kind of stuff, for folks to access. Just want to make sure people know it's there and ask anybody having any issues with access or being able to use the site. Submittals. I guess we got one in under review. We're waiting for 4 resubmittals. I mean, we at this point we've gotten a fair amount of the submittals that we're expecting to see from y'all.
Got a handful more. We've got a coating system to give y'all, asphalt paving, resubmittal on the stone. The NSRR bore's done. They're working on the dewatering. Let's see. Is there anything else? We'll have a striping one for you just so we can go over materials for that.
Mhm.
Trying to think if there's anything else major we're gonna have.
All right. Record drivers pay applications 1 is in and 2 is in as well. That one in, I think, on Friday. So those are in. Change orders, field orders, work change directive, the value engineering efforts. I know you guys were looking at the proposed approach to changing some of the unit prices. Any progress on that?
Bobby's working on it. I'm hoping to have something by the end of the week.
Okay, great. Other business. Hillary, anything from USDA?
I don't have anything. So I do believe that pay application number 1 has gone through, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you guys got it back.
We got.
I didn't want anybody waiting on me.
No, okay, no, and yeah, Austin acknowledged they got paid for application number one, so
Okay, perfect.
excellent. Anything else? Scott, no, Chris, Jackie?
Question I have, we have a manhole behind behind the church on D Street that we have to do something. Quarterly sample, routine sampling that we have to do for our treatment plant. And I believe this is one of the ones that will be effective during this project. I think we can take sample up to the very end, close to the very end of April, if I'm not mistaken. It may be listed currently as 2003. It's just to the left-hand side of that.
I think, no, I think it actually this one sample. We did meet on site and talked about it. But that is where they sample from there. And the latest they can get the sample is the end of June. June will be, they cannot go into July by no means.
Okay.
But they could push it off until June. And what we talked on site, hopefully all the bypass and stuff will be done right there by that time, and they'll be out of it, and it'll be back flowing. And if they have a bypass, it'll be falling out and stuff.
I just wanted to make sure that was the case and not, we've got to go back to the state for there.
Yeah, we should be out of your way because it's around this corner, correct, right off D Street. It's about one.
You see where the 8 come into that one manhole right now?
Yep.
That's the manhole right now.
Oh, okay. Right there. Yeah, we should be. If we're still there in June, something's going wrong. I mean, that's
Well, I
seriously
mean,
too.
anything happens,
Yeah.
man, just want
Right.
to make sure, if there is a delay in the project, please let us know that
Yep.
we can try to schedule a variance with the state or whatever's needed.
We're anticipating just give you a production rough rate. We've got to see how the rock goes, but 40 to 60 a day. Fingers crossed it's more than that, but that's a rough production of what we're thinking.
Yeah, and if there is an issue when you guys need to do the sample, just let everyone know and we'll coordinate getting it there. I mean, honestly, hopefully it shouldn't be an issue of having to go through the trouble of getting a variance from the state. Hopefully we can find a way to do it. But
Yeah, I think, when we talking out there, they pretty sure they was gonna be past it in April
okay.
and have everything back open.
Mhm.
And if something happened, I think the variance is the latest. June talking.
Okay. Good enough. Anything else? All good? Everybody? All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's time. Have a good rest of the day and we'll see you next month.